Hey guys, I'm back with another review for you. I have been obsessed with Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I've basically been playing this non-stop since I put away God of War Ragnarok. I played a little bit of Bayonetta 3 and streamed some, and I'll come back with a review of that one for you soon. But Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is absolutely incredible. It's basically a game that operates on two distinct levels successfully. At its core, this is a game that gives you turn-based tactical strategy combat. So it's very akin to things like XCOM, or even a little bit like Advance Wars or Fire Emblem, where you've got a grid-based battlefield and you go up against enemies and you've got all kinds of attacks and moves and character types that you have to choose, and you have to think very carefully about what move you're going to make and the decisions you're going to make while you're in combat, or your character will be knocked out and then you'll be down to your last character and you've got to survive this horde of enemies. That's very much analogous to what we got out of the previous Mario plus Rabbids game, Kingdom Battle, which was also fantastic. But what's new this time is a much deeper lean into exploration, and all of the worlds that Ubisoft's team, led by Ubisoft Milan, crafted for us are just beautiful pieces. They're almost like this 3D pop-up book, you know? Like, they're just so intricate and so detailed, and there's just lots of really interesting nooks and crannies, trees to shake and icicles to break apart and caves to explore and little puzzles to solve and blocks to move and things, switches to find. There's all kinds of stuff hidden in amongst these environments for you to scour and play with and to look around and see what is interactive and where is that penguin that I need? Where is it hiding? I love that you have to find penguins in this game. So exploration is a huge, huge part of it. But of course, the key component of this game is when you get into the battles, because that's where you earn your experience points. That's where you level up your characters and get more health and more power out of your weapons. And the characters are all incredibly distinct from each other with all kinds of fun idiosyncrasies and personalities, and it's really fun to kind of mix and match and engage with each of these characters in different ways and try to figure out what is the best group to take on the larger group that you have to take down. But the other thing that happens as you're in all of these battles is you find these titular sparks. The sparks are not just an element in the title, they're actual characters within the game. They're a hybrid of Lumas and Rabbids, and they're these little star-shaped characters with all kinds of weird, interesting personalities, but also fantastic offensive or defensive capabilities. So you might have a spark that gives you electrical capabilities, or a spark that gives you fire or water or frost or toxic ooze capabilities, and what you do is you attach them. There's 2 slots per character, so you can have multiple variations of spark to character association, and then you take those characters into battle and you employ the use of these different sparks. Like, you might attach the electrical spark to a bladed weapon that gets thrown out and takes out all kinds of bad guys, not just the character that you might be targeting, but also the ancillary bad guys that might be all sort of crowded around there, which is very effective. You might call in a meteor strike of all kinds of flaming fireballs that takes out a bunch of different bad guys in one fell swoop, which is great. And so the whole idea here is you're trying to navigate from planet to planet, and it's very intergalactic, the scope of this game. It's almost a little bit like Mario Galaxy. It basically borrows some design ethos from the Mario Galaxy games, where you would travel from planet to planet, and it pops off the screen like Mario Galaxy, which is great. But there's this character, this evil entity named Cursa, who is infecting all of these worlds, creating this black ooze with eyeballs, which you have to go and vanquish and dissipate, and you throw like these green egg orby things at the eyeballs. I didn't write the story, guys. I just played the game. But you're trying to wipe out all of this ooze, and you take out all of these different minions, and you find lots of other Rabbids that may have been brainwashed. Sometimes they will join your party, but you'll find lots of helper agents and people out there that give you guidance and ideas of where to go next and suggestions, and they might have calls for help as well, and might send you out on side quests. There's tons of side quests in this game. And so you're traveling and getting into these battles in lots of interesting areas. Snowy areas, the beach, or a foresty area. You know, lots of tropes that we've seen in cool Mario experiences before. But there are these gameplay compulsions which are incredibly effective. It's fun to just explore. It's fun to figure out where all the puzzles are and how to solve them and how to complete all the side quests. And it's also incredibly fun to test your wits and your skills against the enemies and go into these battles, which are almost always satisfying. I did find that there were times that I was sort of obsessed in a particular exploration element and I wanted to flee from a battle, and the game does allow you to do that. But I also found that even, you would encounter random bad guys just roaming around the world and you would get into a battle. It was never unenjoyable to get into combat. It was always really fun. It's not like old school JRPGs that would drive you a little bit crazy. You'd run into a random battle and you'd have to do it over and over and over again. The battles are always interesting, always rewarding, even if sometimes the game isn't especially challenging at normal difficulty. It's not crazy challenging, but there are definite peaks in there where you are going to, at least I found, I failed a few times. I had to figure it out. And it's basically about sustaining and healing your characters over the course of a match so that you're not down to just one, trying to wipe out all of the snipers on the other camp. That's the other great thing about this game too, is that each of these characters is just so different from each other and you're going to fall in love with using them. So you've got Mario type characters, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser, and you've got Rabbids type characters, Rabbids Mario, Rabbids Luigi, Rabbids Peach, and each of them has their own weapon. Like Rabbids Mario has got these boxing gloves that dole out like a 3-punch combo attack. Luigi's got a sniper bow and arrow, which is pretty cool. Mario's got 2 pistols that you can also infuse with the spark powers, right? So you might be able to attach some fireballs to the dual pistols and you'll burn your enemies and they'll run around screaming, holding their butts while they're on fire. And so it's really fun to kind of experiment and to test the systems and to play matches again and encounter some of the enemy types that are roaming around again, just to kind of see the intricacies of the design that went down to build this game, which you can feel was just built with love and with the opportunity that the success of Kingdom Battle provided. This was not a team that squandered this. They really wanted to accelerate on the great ideas that Kingdom Battle proposed. And you guys remember how big of a shock that was, how cool Kingdom Battle was. And I think everybody just felt a great sense of responsibility to even surprise us more with Sparks of Hope. And it has. It's a wonderful game. It's capped off with incredible visuals. And yes, sometimes there's just so much detail and so many particle effects and so much beauty on screen that the Switch does struggle a little bit. The frame rate will dip. And I definitely was thinking, man, I would love to see this game on hardware that was a little more powerful. Hint, Nintendo. But still, my breath was taken away constantly by how beautiful it is. And it's incredible in handheld mode, especially on the Nintendo Switch OLED screen. Oh my God, it just pops right off of that screen. It's gorgeous. And the music also underscores, pun intended, everything just wonderfully. It's incredibly theatrical. I was feeling like echoes of Batman animated score, like beautiful theatrical swells. It just adds to the drama and the escapism and your immersion into this incredible game. And of course, we're deep into chatter about what is the best game of the year. The awards are all coming up now. And of course, Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok are going to be in that discussion. But I don't think that this game should be overlooked. I think that this game should definitely be in those discussions as well. It is that good. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.